Let that ride out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to After Dragons, and we are going to do an opening video here of the House of X, Powers of X Heroclix set, the long-awaited set, originally promised here Halloween of 2020, then New Year's Eve 2020, and now here we are in 2021, and this appeared on the doorstep. I'm really looking forward to diving into this set. I've avoided, to this point, all of the teasers. I don't know any of the chase figures or primes or anything that we're expecting in this set. I'm looking forward to opening this this first case up here. Let's start with booster 1 and see how it goes. I did pop the tape off this one already, but let's see who we've actually got. So it looks like we've got Beast, Dr. Elia Gregor, Emma Frost, and Elixir with a super rare prime or super rare unique of Omega. Very cool. Straight out of Hickman's run. We'll go through these pieces a little bit further in other videos. But for now, let's just pop a few of these out, a few of the ones that we haven't seen yet. So this is the new Beast model, and that sculpt is great. They've definitely done a lot to improve the level of texture they can put on these models. We'll see how it fares across the line. Dr. Elia Gregor, I'm going to need to double check actually. I'm not certain where she comes up, if I missed that, or which part of the story she is. Emma Frost, of course, an uncommon Emma in her all business attire now that she's on the Quiet Council. Just gonna place uncommons over here, and then we've got our last common of the pack with Elixir. We'll jump into booster number 2 here. Tried to cut it and almost just smashed the booster open. All right, let's see what we've got. Ooh, that is a fire rare Magneto. Look at that guy. That is awesome. Uncommon Wolverine, common Corsair, uncommon unique Moira X, and another common of Dr. Elia Gregor. I really need to figure out who that is. Let's pop this Magneto out. That's the new all-white attire House of X Magneto. He's been a stoic son of a gun here since the House of X has started off. It's a pretty great character to follow along. Wolverine sculpt, classic again. He's got a slight different coloration here in the House of X set. So I'll put this with the uncommons. We've got Corsair. This is one of the Star Jammers here. Cyclops' dad. Don't have any of the Star Jammers yet, so that's going to be great. One thing I'm already noticing with this new figure size is that it leads to more figure leaning. So far out of this set, the first 2 boosters have a figure that's leaning a little bit too much, a little bit more than it should. Moira X, another unique here. It's going to be interesting to see what powers all of these guys have, so that they're probably sitting with something fresh if they have a unique on them. And again, there's that Dr. Elia Gregor, whom I don't know is in the story. Let's jump into booster 3. Pulling a super rare of Omega right off the bat is definitely a great find, and having that rare Magneto is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what we've got for this one. All right. So we got, I don't know if you can see in the camera, Dr. Cecilia Reyes, a common, a rare for her. And then we have Psylocke uncommon, and Sunspot uncommon, as well as Domino common and Havoc common. Dr. Cecilia Reyes. So in the new line, they've added a lot of these force effects and these character details to models of every rarity, where before the commons and uncommons would typically be reusing sculpts in some cases or have some more simple modeling. That is a great Psylocke. That shows, I think, what the line has changed to. And how it's improved, I think. Uncommons, let's see, we've also got Sunspot here, the first time we've seen him, all darked out. Very cool model. Murdered out Sunspot. The Domino common. Domino also comes in the Fast Forces set. So I'll have to go over the stats there and kind of what makes her different here in the booster versus the Fast Forces. And then Havoc is coming here as a common. And that's kind of what I was explaining. Even the commons have the kind of energy effects and some new model detail to make them a little flashier than they used to be. Throw that in our common stack and move on to booster number 4. Only seen one super rare so far, so we've got a few more down in the list and still waiting on that Sweet Chase. All right, so for the 4th booster, let's pull it up here. Ooh, there is Kate Pride, super rare. Man, look at that, that's awesome. And look at that bent sword, that is not awesome. We've got Tessa, the uncommon. A Sinister clone, oh man. So we're gonna have Sinister clones in this set, that's exciting. Trinary, a common as well, and another Wolverine, the first duplicate, or second duplicate if you count Elia Gregor. Let's check out this, if I can get her out of the package. Super rare of Kate Pride. If you guys are reading Marauders, Kate Pride has taken over the Marauders for the X-Men, and she's been quite a character, very fun to follow. It looks like we'll be able to get that sword back into a healthy position. That's good. But this definitely captures the vibe of Kate and looks pretty awesome on the table. That is a very cool super rare. Excited to play her and build up some of the teams from the books. That's the second of the super rares for us. A new uncommon is Tessa. Nice. I don't actually know Tessa's story either. I think she's helping with Sage and some of the island security right now in Krakoa. Ooh, a Sinister clone. This bodes well for Mr. Sinister fans. If there are going to be Sinister clones, we're going to get some clone rules, some summon mechanics, and what's wrong with some Mr. Sinister spam. It's capeless, so that's how you can know it's not the real guy himself, right? Got Trinary, another new common for us in the set. All these sculpts have been really dynamic, and duplicate I'll leave in the case here with this common Wolverine. And we're about halfway through the first brick here with the 5th booster coming up. All right, let's see what we've got. It is Rachel Gray, common, Cypher common, Hepzibah uncommon, Havoc common, and ooh, Prestige rare. Let's pop that Prestige out. Man, you really can tell that they went back through the sculpts to do some more work on these. There was a few sets where even some of the models were looking the same. And when it was getting like that, where, you know, a model from the Frightful Four is looking like, you know, models from the Captain America set, it starts to get kind of lame. We've seen this Havoc already. That's a duplicate common. Let's pull this Hepzibah. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Hepzibah. Uncommon. Awesome tail action going on. We'll definitely get building some X-Force teams after this. Cypher has been a breakout character here in the recent stories. Pretty fun with his ability to communicate with Krakoa. He built the whole Krakoan language that each mutant has telepathically imprinted onto them when they reach the island. And he's also recently been married in Ten of Swords as he met his lady, one whom he cannot translate at all or understand and who rarely speaks, so it's a match made in heaven. This is another thing I've been noticing about these sculpts, the new line, I guess we could say in quotes, is look at this yellow paint job. It is not solid. I mean, the paint always left something to be desired for Heroclix, but some of that is pretty rough on a model. I mean, granted, it's just a common and it's Cypher, so I mean, I don't know if he's going to be super powerful either, but it's worth pointing out that they were really trying to focus on the quality for these changes, and in some areas they hit the mark, and in others they may have missed it. We've got a Rachel Gray here. Very cool. All out in the Marvel Girl-esque attire. And that completes our first 5. Let's dive into number 6 here. See what we've got. With Sunspot common, and this guy is not the all darked out powers activated Sunspot. This is the normal one. Another Sinister clone, a Karima, who is reusing the sculpt from the super rare Omega for a rare, and ooh, is that Krakoa? Is that a Krakoa chase? Oh man. Folks, we've just found the chase for the first case, and one of the coolest chases I may have ever seen, as this is Krakoa, and beneath him, this is a solid piece of plastic, is a Krakoan gate. Damn, that's awesome. Very, very cool. I didn't know if they were gonna be able to do anything with Krakoa without bringing in colossals or larger figures, but man, that is quite a figure. Number 70 of the set, it looks like he has 125 and a 40-point line, 3 targets, 8 range, willpowers printed on the dial. I'm really looking forward to see how Krakoa works on a team and what we can do with them. And really, what could you do with more of them if there's going to be Krakoan gates? I'll be very lucky to ever own more than this one, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Very cool to pull that chase, and early on in the set. Should note that this set actually came with team-up cards, so at the end of the process here, we'll flip through that and see which team-up cards came in the boosters. For the most part, if it's going to be like JLU, we're going to get a team-up that matches one of the figures in the booster. We'll leave this Hepesba uncommon in the case and pull out this Karima. Again, reusing the figure from Omega, but you know, less alien, a little more robotic here. And this is a rare for the set. I do like that sculpt, so it's fine. And right when I was mentioning sculpt reuse, typically we see this in clicks. Nothing to complain about or nothing out of the norm. Just something maybe I thought they would address or look at addressing. But at the end of the day, they can only make so many sculpts, and if anyone has looked into the price of manufacturing, every sculpt change and small change to a figure is very expensive. Sunspot looks drunk here. He's kind of like leaning and like, hey, he looks like he's sort of just coming in the bar. I don't know. We'll see how that character plays, but that's an odd sculpt. That one didn't hit it with me. Very happy to pull that Krakoa chase, so that is sick. And again, another Sinister clone. We're probably gonna need all of these we can possibly get, as I'm a huge Mr. Sinister fan, and I can't wait to play an army of his clones, making people guess which one is the best one. There's some of the scenes in the comic that are just hilarious of Sinister arguing with his clones, or folks going to visit with Sinister and realizing that they've been dealing with his clone rather than the man himself. So he's a funny character, keeps people guessing. And he's got a lot going on with the Hellions right now in the current comics. Oh, there's a fresh piece right there. Look at that. That is a rare of Cardinal, actually, from Powers of X. Very, very cool. Pull that out here in a second. We got Egg, one of the 5 in the Resurrection Protocols. I was hoping that we'd get those 5 in here. Chamber with some really neat figure effects, a duplicate common Cypher, and a rare Polaris. We gotta pull Cardinal out first. Assuming we've got Cardinal, most likely we'll have Nightcrawler, as this figure looks like it's primed for a Banff and a Nightcrawler head replacement. Cardinal's been from the Powers of X. He's in a far future X-Men here and kind of came out of Sinister's Chimera pits. It's going to be very cool to get these dudes on the table and bring this new era of X-Men that's been really building over the last year to the Heroclix table and to the teams that we're building. Oh man, this Egg figure is great. He looks like a rock star right there. He basically is, man. I mean, Egg had like one of the weirder superpowers probably to be able to just create these eggs. But I mean, now he's so useful. He's irreplaceable for the 5 and for all of mutant kind. He's an uncommon here, so we'll see what he adds to the table when we dig through his cards. Going all out with the uncommons in this booster specifically, because this chamber is crazy. He's got his bandana or his like protective thing down, and he's just letting all of that energy go. Very, very cool, and it's catching the light in a neat way here that they went with all of that yellow. My uncommon stack is looking pretty cool over here, I'm not gonna lie. I do like the new size of the models. So these are taller than before, and really looking at a group of them, as we'll show here in a minute, it helps out a lot, and I think it's gonna give the figure the game a better look on the table overall. This Polaris is pretty sweet. A rare, and again, we've got a little bit of effects. She's got a little bit of translucent green in her mold. So she's up to that magnetism, and also trying to kind of step into her own shoes and not become like Magneto, or as much like him as maybe he would want. So add that to the common side. And right now, let's see, we've got booster number 7. Number 8, actually. No, this is set. Yep, this is 8. It's always important to count, even in Heroclix. So we've got a duplicate common, Rachel Gray, a duplicate common in Corsair, a duplicate common in Havoc. We've got a new rare in Vulcan, and a new uncommon with Cyclops. So we've opened a good chunk of this first brick, and we're gonna start running into some serious dupes when it comes to the commons, but that's the name of the game. Gather up your duplicates and give them to someone to pull them into the tribe as well. Look at this Cyclops sculpt. He's been a little bit more of a leader and not as much of a major player in the current X-Men, but this new suit he has is sick, and the sculpt really captures that vibe he's got in the game. Going in the uncommon pile. I'm telling you, the uncommons are shaping up, I think. And our rare in this brick is Vulcan, which I do not have in Clix form yet, and that is a pretty good classic sculpt, I'd say, and a better paint job. It seems like it's hit or miss, right? Look at the yellow on this figure; it's fairly solid all the way around. For miniature painters out there, you know that yellow can be a huge pain, but the way some of these ciphers look, it's not great. Moving into the 9th booster of the first brick of the case here. Try not to cut anything that doesn't need to be. Okay, let's see what we've got here. With a common Havoc, another common Domino, an uncommon Zorn, awesome. It looks like he's got the helm off, kind of. A uncommon Douglock, very cool. And a is it a common Cardinal? Oh, did I misspeak earlier? And is Cardinal common? Nope, that is rare. Let's double check what we've got here. Popping another Cardinal out. Duplicate on this guy. I was hoping to see our Nightcrawler man himself. And then the uncommon Zorn is something we had not pulled yet. That's a cool sculpt. Very cool. And uncommon Douglock. So Warlock is bonded with Cypher. And occasionally they become Douglock. In the Abnet landing run, they do for a while. And there's a little bit of that kind of combination in the current House of X. So it's great to see Cypher in that same Cypher pose with none of that difficult yellow, all C3PO'd out with Warlock, kind of bonding with him. That's bound to be a fun piece. We'll see what the rules do to switch things up there. And we'll go with the 10th booster here to wrap up the first brick. Let's see what we've got. Pull in a Sage. Looks like a common Sage, common Elixir, uncommon Tempest, a rare, what is that? Chaud, I think, and oh my, Mr. Sinister. There he is, cape and all, an uncommon. That's kind of surprising. Well, I'm gonna pull that out first. And let's hope there's a Chase Sinister in this set that they don't leave it just to the uncommons, but let's check this guy out. Man, look at that cape. Looks pretty powerful. There's a House of X cover that's basically just like this. So that sculpt is straight out of the comics. Very cool to see those in play. And now that Sinister is an uncommon, I'll probably stick to what I'm saying with the uncommons being the coolest of the bunch. This is another new one for us, the uncommon Tempest. Looks like a rave lady playing with a hula hoop here. I'm not certain of the character. We'll find out more as we read deeper, putting her in the cool uncommon stack. Chaud? Man, straight up Savage Dragon Swamp Thing of a dude. Another X-Men character that I am not familiar with. So we'll have to do a little bit of reading. And that's been one of the great things about Clicks. You can get the set for a few characters that you're interested in and end up learning about so many more. There are a few great history of comics channels that I've used to a large degree to learn more about the different characters on the team, especially in some of the sets that I haven't read the books for. There's Sage, looking awesome, kind of helping to control the security on the island, working with Beast and Black Tom there. So that wraps up the first of the bricks of the case. So we're gonna start digging into the second brick here with booster 11. And this one doesn't want to give it up. There we go. See what we've got on this side. Common Domino, common Shard, uncommon Cyclops. Ooh, look at that super rare Glob. Oh man, that is a super rare Glob Herman. And we've got another common Cypher. Let's pull out Glob first. I don't know if this gentleman has ever been Heroclixed, as it definitely took more work. You can tell there's been some care put into this sculpt. You can see the interior skeleton and organs and eyes here of Glob Herman. Very cool piece. Coming at 40 points is going to be maybe a good utility. And also rounding out our super rares or getting them started here for this brick. How many did we have so far? 3 super rares with Kate Pride, Glob Herman, and Omega. And let's see, other new ones from this pack were Shard, a common Shard, very cool. And then I think we have three duplicates with Cypher, Cyclops, and Domino. So as we get through these, I think we're gonna find a lot more duplicates because we seem to already have a big selection of the commons and uncommons. I've yet to see a prime, I think, unless that Moira X uncommon was a prime. And if this one is, actually, the ring for uniqueness versus prime. I don't recall which color that is. I need to look that up. All right, in this booster, we've got a common Wolverine, a uncommon Forge, uncommon Hepesba, a common Dr. Elia Gregor, and a rare Prestige. Starting some duplicates on the rare side. Let's put that Prestige over. And is there anything else we need to pop from the set? Looks like this Forge. Very cool, and is like all white and black attire. In the Fast Forces, he's in the more traditional blue and yellow. Let's bring some more of these rares up into the screen here, showing off this great set. A few duplicates, but we'll leave those back. And then our Chase Krakoa, man, what a piece. All right, let's dive further in with booster number 13. Lucky 13, right? Is this gonna be the Chase, the prime of the set? What have we got? Or we already got the Chase, I suppose, so we're still waiting on one more super rare. Kid Omega rare, cool. Another Zorn uncommon, a Sinister clone common. I don't think we can have too many of those. Trinary common and a Rachel Gray common. So we'll pop the Sinister clone. We need to keep all of those handy. And then we'll also take a look at the Kid Omega, as the rest of this set was duplicates with uncommon Zorn, common Trinary, and common Rachel Gray. Kid Omega has been a lot of fun in the sets. He's unfortunately had to take advantage of the resurrection protocols a few times. Maybe one time not necessarily because of his choice. He's had some rough goes at things. At one point, a Krakoan gate just kind of slammed down as he was going through it. So he's been a fun character, and he's one that the other characters kind of pick on a good deal. He's always a source of humor, I think. And booster number 14 here. All right, we've got an uncommon Mr. Sinister. Great to see that dude showing up more. A rare Dr. Cecilia Reyes, another duplicate there. And a Polaris, Hepesba, and ooh, a Bishop. Very cool. Let's get the Sinister out. We'll leave him in there. He's pretty... So some of these figures, with the way that the arms are, you're better off just getting some scissors and snipping that out and then pulling them through there. But the only other duplicate in this set besides our rare Cecilia Reyes, who will pull out, or the non-duplicate, is this Bishop. Another piece I don't have in Clix form. I'm very happy to add to the collection. Looking classic here with the M and a little bit of energy coming out of the hands. That'll be a great piece to add. And may round up our commons. I need to do a count over there and see. All right, moving into booster 15. Can't get things going here. Probably, ooh, we've got a little bit of packaging. That's always good, or at least interesting. Outside of the packaging, we have uncommon Forge, a common Trinary, a common Wolverine, and a common Bishop. So it's an entire duplicate. an entire duplicate booster, but I think we've just learned who is wrapped in the packaging, as we've got a team up card here for Storm. So let's see if it indeed is her. It looks as if it is. So this figure must have a little bit more complexity. It looks like it came broken. Hey. Heroclix is best with a small bottle of super glue, because that's going to be a problem when your rare Storm only has a right arm. So we'll definitely want to attach that here again after the set or after the show and make sure we get that elbow going in the right direction. But a very cool piece, a delicate sculpt in the legs and in the feet, and the cape. I thinking they should have just put it in the case or in the plastic. I don't know why it was wrapped that way, because it put a lot of weight on this arm and snapped it off. So that's 3 Heroclix sets in a row that we've got a broken piece. There's typically one, but so far so good with some of these other delicates. She's a rare. That's a little bit frustrating, but we'll get her glued up. It doesn't look to be a game-breaking issue there, or a piece-breaking one. So we'll dive into our 16th booster. Things over here. First of all, or I guess way late, look, appreciate that booster. The A cover House of X, showing our X-Force A cover #1, Excalibur. I mean, these are the teams that we've been reading for a year here, with the core X-Men and then Jerry Dugan's Marauders. So it's just representing everything here. And I think this Phoenix Wolverine's the super chase. So who knows if we'll be lucky enough to have that grace the tables. And we've got a rare Professor X. Ooh, very cool kind of telekinesis going on there. Another egg, uncommon, an uncommon Tessa, a common Polaris, and then a common Psylocke. So there's actually common and uncommon Psylocke colorways. We'll pull out the Professor X first here. And oh man, look at that rare. Very cool. I don't know what's going on with this whole back of the spine telekinetic thrust thing. But hey, it's got a good view from this direction if you don't turn it and look at his telekinetic tail. But I don't have a Professor X with a tail, as my others actually are still in the chair. So it's great to have a walking Professor X to add to the mix. And he's been a character that I'd like to see more in the set. He's a rare, so we can leave him out here. But he's been much more on the sidelines, kind of leading and maintaining the Krakoan government. Don't forget Storm's arm. Looks like the rest of this one was duplicates with an uncommon egg, trinary, and a common Polaris. But we did pull a common Psylocke. So let's look at that here and look it up against the uncommon. This definitely looks more like your 90s style Psylocke, and this is a little more modern with the darker colored hair and darker colored uniform here. Great piece. It'll be good to see which comics they're pulling those from on the card and what they can do on the table. This is our, I believe, the 16th, 17th booster. You know, the counting thing is, we're opening a lot of boosters, folks. All right, let's see what we got in this one. Oh, there's our common Psylocke again, now that we've become acquainted. A common Sunspot, uncommon Mr. Sinister. Ooh, is that a super rare? It is a super rare North. Very cool. Pull that out here. Taking a page out of that Magneto book with the sculpt, with the rare Magneto looking just like that. That could be this last super rare of the set, putting us at 4 super rares in a chase. That is a 6 sculpt, and it'll be, looks like they're 100, has at 150 and 75 point limit. So he's got a few different uses there. The rest of which was were all duplicates, with our common Sage, uncommon Mr. Sinister, our common Sunspot, and common Psylocke right there. We'll move into our 18th. see what we've got here. Ooh, right off the bat, there's a Proteus, common Proteus, uncommon Chamber, uncommon Sunspot. We've got common Domino and common Cipher. So look at that rare. Proteus is awesome. Very cool. The rest of which I think is going to be a duplicate booster for us with Chamber, Sunspot, Domino, and Cipher. All members I'm happy to see on the table and hoping we get some team up cards to put them on the table in different ways. Haven't had a great opportunity to use the team up cards from JLU much, but I'll be playing X-Men figures a lot more just because I read the X-Men more. So we'll probably dive into those team ups. This is going to be the 19th booster of the case. And there he is. I thought we were done with super rares, but Nightcrawler himself, bamf, right out of the box here, with an uncommon Marvel Girl, which we did not have on the list yet, as well as common Shard, common Sage, and common Corsair, all of which are duplicates for us. Jean Grey Marvel Girl. Try to focus here. There we go. Great sculpt. They did a Rachel Grey in the same sculpt here, but just with a little different costuming. Bringing something out of the classic book in a little bit modern form here. Put onto our uncommon stack, and now let's pull this bad boy out. And as expected, the Cardinal sculpt doubled beautifully, or was originally intended for Mr. Kurt here, the Nightcrawler. Another figure I don't have in Clicks form yet, so cannot wait to put him on the table and start jumping around and causing chaos. Since with the positioning and tactical movement of Heroclix so important, when you're able to just bounce around like that, it can provide some unparalleled strategy for sure. Add him to the super rares. I don't know if this might be our prime with Omega, or if that's just a unique ring as Moira X's here. I'm gonna open the last of the case. This is the 20th booster. Got our 5 super rares, our Chase, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, or we've got 11 rares so far. So for a single case, this has been very inclusive. We're getting, I think, a big selection of the set. And we'll also be able to see which team up cards and other elements we got. I wish they did equipment with this, but to be honest, I don't think they can do equipment and team up cards. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Elixir as a common. Ooh, a rogue common, whom we actually didn't pull yet on the last. Here I am excited about oh, it's a rare. Even better, right? Oh man, look at that painting. I mean, the paint scheme is great, but then look at her face. Look at that. Eesh. That's a rough face. That is a rough paint job. Oh man. But very cool sculpt, and it mirrors the Apocalypse Rogue sculpt. There's that lean. Some of these figures, the extra height is just going to give them more room to collapse, more ability to fall. And I don't know if over time we may see these figures be a little top heavy and start to pull down more. There are certain figures I have in the sets that cannot be stored standing and actually need to be placed face down or laying down because of different pieces or how the model's weighted. But that's a great rare to add. The promo Apocalypse Rogue has a cool feature where if this rogue KOs somebody of a higher point cost, and she is of a 90 or 60 points, you can replace her with the Apocalypse Rogue on the same click number, who's all impervious out and wheeling and dealing 4 and 3 damage printed. So it's a fun character, and I can't wait to dive into the cards and talk with that about you guys more, probably on the podcast side rather than the YouTube side here. The last bit of the booster was an Elixir common, an uncommon Douglock, and another common Dr. Elia Gregor, and a common Forge, who we did not pull. We saw Uncommon Forge earlier in a black and white attire. So we'll see both sculpts here. Classic Forge, another facial expressions, pretty rough with that mustache centering. He had a little rough time at the mirror today. But it's a good model, and Forge has been a really fun character to learn more about. So I'm interested to see how they really put these figures onto the table. That will wrap up the first case here. We've got another case coming and looking forward to opening that in a video. Just to review again, or in summary, our super rares were Nightcrawler, North, Kate Pride herself with a forever bent sword, it seems, Glob Herman, very cool, and Omega. And it is just hard to say much about these pieces without digging into the cards, so breaking down those stats and clicks is going to be great too. Probably bringing Morrow in from the Casual Clixing channel to help look at the stats and then the cards and kind of talk about some of the possible tactics and strategy. Here's our chase for this case. Good old Krakoa with the Krakoan gate right there. I'm really wondering what the rules are going to be to travel through and or with Krakoa. Starting our rares, going down the line, we got Proteus, Storm, one arm came off, unfortunately, Vulcan, Prestige, the Omega Sculpt reused as Karima, Dr. Cecilia Reyes, whom we've got a duplicate, as well as Prestige. We also pulled duplicate Cardinals, using that Nightcrawler sculpt. And we pulled a Magneto rare. Very cool. I prefer Magneto over North, but hey man, it's great to see North as on the clicks and represented. That all green suit is something else. Chode or Chod? I don't know how to say his name, and what is on his back? Look at that guy. A little cat monster. We definitely have some reading to do to figure out who that is. Kid Omega. Quality rare, Arlenen, rough makeup rogue, and then this odd-tailed Professor X. I don't think I'm gonna unsee the tail, but I'll try because I do like the sculpt here from the front. With those, we got a full selection of commons. Let me just slide them all in here into view. Definitely looking forward to seeing what these clones will do for the Sinister side, but we pulled really a majority of the main teams throughout the commons and uncommons with Beast, Trinary, Havoc, Rogue, some others like Bishop, the one that I don't know, Elia Gregor, another X-Men I'm not too familiar with, Shard. So all around, it's just some X-Men greatness and so many X teams to build and comics to mirror. Let me pull this uncommon set closer, as I think we've got some really cool pieces here. I'm still hoping they did a super rare or a chase Sinister, because seeing him as an uncommon is just, it's not enough for the guy, you know? He needs more than that. He's already got an awesome cape, but it'd be great if it could be an awesome cape and be a super rare. We got Moira X. The Mini Lives of Moira Taggart was an excellent issue for the House of X lineup, and she's really pivotal to where the X-Men are now in many histories that they've had in the past. The trio here, the love triangle, if you will, with Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine, with our rock star Egg. He just looks too cool in that pose. All around the uncommons, I think were some great sculpts and some surprises with Doug Locke. Seeing Emma Frost there on the uncommon was interesting as well, but she's had some super rare iterations before. And getting a Zorn in Clicks mode, all very exciting. Can't wait to dig through the second case and to see what's really going to wrap up my collection. Definitely check me out here on Twitter, guys, at AfterDragons_, and find me online, afterdragons.com, where we have mini comics, reviews, and interviews with creators, as well as a Heroclix series that Morrow from Casual Clixing and I have been working on. So with that, have a good night.
right out.